Nights like this I wish that raindrops will fall.
Sometimes I sit at nights like this.
Nights like this I wish that raindrops will fall.
After dark, at sacks I spark, relax at parts, compassion art. My pen and my pad is sharp, swimming with packs of sharks, adrenaline past the mark. Fibbing and fact is harp, they wait to a passion heart. I'm cold-blooded, Eskimo ruckish, dramatic start. I'm testicle busting on backs from far. Imagine a night, black as tar, eclipsing the moon. Burnt out stars, the fog appear, God is here. A picture perfect is worth the vision, I'm caught in fears. Uncontrollable agony that been taught for years. So I swallow beers, my training was a Picasso painting carver gears to steer the rear. This say cheers to clear the tears for all the rumors and the consumers that use them. Y'all some late bloomers. Losers can't relate, they mistake choosers. Bored out they mind, the more mouth the line. A difficult situation when you finish hating.
Sometimes I sit at nights like this, lightlessness with no sight. The right is swift when I want to by my lonesome. So I'm sharing my thoughts, compare it to art. How I paint pics sitting here in the dark. Sometimes I sit at nights like this, lightlessness with no sight. The right is swift when I want to by my lonesome. So I'm sharing my thoughts, compare it to art. How I paint pics sitting here in the dark.
Let me opiate cerebral, it's like a cesarean section. Injected venereal infections, beware of the exit. Confession of a connection where burial's present. A category where it's blacks before me. 100 years ago when we was hunted and hung in front of the ones who feared us most. Son of a guns, put the pump to their tongue soon as they cheering toast. Dealing with cops that are racist, written as documentations, leaving our peoples hitting, locked up in basements, shot in their faces, corrupt, disrupt they rupture, malfunctioning motor movement, multiplicity, vulture scoop, ultra smooth, analyze curriculum motives, sanitize ridiculous odor, getting corroded, recleanse our soul before we end the foe with biscuit rolls to bend the foe. Expensive kin, the cold is how you spend your dough. 2023 with a memory kept for centuries, the missing history.
Sometimes I sit at nights like this, lightlessness with no sight. The right is swift when I want to by my lonesome. So I'm sharing my thoughts, compare it to art. How I paint pics sitting here in the dark. Sometimes I sit at nights like this, lightlessness with no sight. The right is swift when I want to by my lonesome. So I'm sharing my thoughts, compare it to art. How I paint pics sitting here in the dark.
Intellectual mind reader, sightseer, Xavier criteria, no lights there. It's night here, but you gave me an idea. The broken bubble top of my dome, it's like an open skull where knowledge is shown. The results are cocky or chrome, how can I be in wrong? When the right of way is the tidal wave. Hope you like the babe, tsunami at home. Illustrated, authorized, manipulated, cataclysmic and was demonstrated. The matters in business are shattered in an instant if it ever clashes with the vengeance. The baddest within is bagging your riches, chatty your dentures. The master splinters and Donatello with Pomerello, my Islamic fellow from the Quran Pharaoh, comparing Al Pacino to Robert De Niro, Copper De Niro's hopping Camaros with Romero or a Marilyn Monroe. I'll take you to a globe where it barely can glow, that's buried in soul.
Sometimes I sit at nights like this, lightlessness with no sight. The right is swift when I want to by my lonesome. So I'm sharing my thoughts, compare it to art. How I paint pics sitting here in the dark. Sometimes I sit at nights like this, lightlessness with no sight. The right is swift when I want to by my lonesome. So I'm sharing my thoughts, compare it to art. How I paint pics sitting here in the dark.
Sometimes I sit at nights like this.
Nights like this I wish